like they've seen you before, like this isn't your first time talking, you're going to be more inclined to talking to that individual. So, who I see on my screen right now is Eric. So, if I was going to call Eric's phone, the first thing when Eric picks up the phone, I have no clue that it's Eric. It could be Eric's brother. It could be Eric's father. It can be Eric, another male on the other line. But I'm going to just assume that it's Eric. So when Eric picks up the phone, I'm go, hello, Eric. And Eric's going to confirm who he is. But my confidence is going to rub him in a way where it's important for us to continue this conversation. Because on the phone, you have about 7 seconds before that individual decide if they're going to continue to talk to you or if they're going to hang up the phone. So the energy that you give to start is the energy that you're going to give back. You always want to meet the client energy exactly where they are and go up a little bit higher than what they're giving. But if you go a little bit lower than what the client is giving, they're going to go much lower, and that's going to result to you actually not getting that 7 seconds or actually booking that appointment. So that takes me into step 2 of the 5 parts to a conversation or 5 parts to a sell. Number 2 is typically your short story. Your short story is always going to be who, what, and why. Your 3 W's, who, what, and why. Who you are, what you're doing, why are you calling? Get right to the point with the client, right? Because it doesn't matter what you say to them. You can say you're calling from the benefits center. You can say you're calling from the president's office. They're just going to tell you yes or no by the time you go ahead to schedule an appointment. So don't get too caught up in trying to find the right answer. You'll never have the right answers. We was just at conference over here in Philadelphia on Monday. And one of the most common things that was repeated is you can't say the wrong things to the right person, and you can never say the right things to the wrong person. Booking the appointments, that's exactly how it works. There's never going to be a right answer. Who you are, what you're doing, why you're calling. So once I go, hello, Eric, and Eric says yes, I'm going to let him know exactly who I am. Hey, Eric, this is Corey. I'm just getting back to you about the life insurance you looked into online to verify is your date of birth 1/1/2001. I'm right to the point. Perfect. Now I'm going to go to proceed to tell Eric, once he confirmed that, I'm going to let him know. I told him who I am, and I'm letting him know what I'm doing. Why am I doing it? I told him I'm getting back to you about the life insurance you looked into online. He verified his address, and the next day I'm telling him my job is simple, Eric, is to get you those options, see what you qualify for. Was this just for you, or is this for your spouse or loved ones?
Yes, just for me.
Okay, perfect. Any history of a heart attack, stroke, or cancer for yourself, Eric?
No.
Okay, wonderful. So just to give you a heads up, I do represent the top 25 carriers, which allows me to find you the most coverage at the lowest cost for you. I'm actually getting my schedule together for tomorrow. It takes about 15-20 minutes. Are you going to be home in the morning, afternoon, or evening tomorrow?
Afternoon would be preferred.
Okay, perfect. I do have a slot available between 12 and 1, or would you prefer like mid-afternoon, or does that time sound good to you?
1 o'clock would be good for me. Okay,
before I let you go, Eric, just grab a pen and paper so I can leave you with my information, and then I'll have you off the phone. All right, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, perfect. So I got right to the point with Eric. Now, Eric could have turned around and said no. He could have turned around and not agreed to the appointment, which is completely fine. But there's going to be nothing that I can say to make Eric, there's going to be nothing special that I say to make Eric say yes. And there's going to be nothing wrong that I say to make Eric say no. But what's very important when it comes to booking an appointment is, and step 1 and step 2, which is your intro and your short story, is the who, what, and why is just getting right to the point. Now, a lot of times you'll find clients asking things like, questions, and give you objections. What's really important is when you're dealing with objections, having a consistent rebuttal. I like to deal with just one rebuttal because, again, there's no right answer. Some of us, I know each and every one of us on this call say a lot of different things, and all of those different things work for each and every one of us. And the reason they work is not because it's the right answer. It's just because you guys believe in what you're saying. And when you believe in what you're saying, that client feels the belief and they believe in you, and you give them confidence to meet with you. So I never want to have too many rebuttals, because if I got to think of the right answer, they can hear the lack of confidence coming off of my voice. They can hear the lack of confidence coming off of my tone. So I no longer sound like the person they want to meet with, because The client is looking for certainty. They're not looking for up in the air. They're looking to make this a simple process where they're just looking for either burial, their final expenses, they're looking to cover their mortgage, or they're looking to leave money behind. So, Eric, if I could ask you, if you could, just throw some things at me just so everyone could hear, how consistent a rebuttal should sound. Now, you guys don't have to take the rebuttal I'm using, but the importance behind it is just making sure that as long as you're using the consistent same script over and over and one consistent rebuttal, then you're going to find the right people as long as you have the right enough leads, and you're going to end up getting into enough houses. But Eric, if you can throw some things at me, if we can role play for everyone really quick, that'd be great, just to give an idea of what exactly I'm talking about.
Sure. Well, at this time, I'm not really interested. I have a life insurance policy, but I'm not interested at this time because I think I have everything I need to cover me and my.
Of course not, Eric. That's exactly why I'm calling. When you looked online, were you looking to add additional coverage? Because I know you have the life insurance policy already, but you went online looking for options. Were you looking for additional coverage for like a mortgage, burial, or there's grandchildren or children you want to leave money to behind?
I was looking for my definitely looking for a family member, my mother, and just in case it was something that happened to me, it was something would go to her personally.
Okay, perfect. So that's exactly why I'm calling. I do represent about 25 different insurance carriers. So for yourself, I'll be able to find you a lot of coverage at a lower cost. And hey, if it don't make sense to you, I won't be offended if you don't take the coverage option. But if it does make sense to you, I'm sure you'll be glad that you met with myself tomorrow. Now, you did say you're available in the afternoons, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I'm going to have you down between 12 and 1. There's no reason you won't be home between that time.
That sounds good.
Okay, perfect. Just do me a favor, read back to me that confirmation code I gave you, and I'll let you off the phone.
Okay, you can give me the confirmation code.
Let's just pretend I did.
Okay.
But
okay, yeah.
But what Eric just tried to do, everyone, is Eric told me he's no longer interested. And I wanted to find out why he's no longer interested. Because again, we are working off of leads. Do not let the client confuse you. When they tell you they're not interested, I just threw it back on Eric and let him know you did look into life insurance online. I know you have another life insurance policy. This must have been for, to leave money behind, or is it for a mortgage, or is it for additional coverage for your final arrangements? I reassumed control of that conversation by asking Eric questions, by throwing it back on him and let him know I'm not calling you because I'm super excited to. I'm calling you because you looked at life insurance first, knowing that you have life insurance already. So it must have been for some additional reason, right? So the consistent rebuttal you'll hear me say over and over is I represent about 25 different insurance carriers, and I'll be able to find you that coverage at a lower cost. And I also throw in there, if it don't make sense to you, that's okay. I won't be offended. But if it do make sense to you, I'm sure you'd be glad that you met with myself for about 15, 20 minutes. Eric, throw me something else that you hear on the phone. And if you have any questions, feel free to throw it in the chat or unmute. I don't want to take up too much of this precious time right now because it is dial time. I want to wrap this call up in about the next 5 to 10 minutes. So if you have any questions, please feel free to unmute or drop any questions in the chat. But Eric, in the meantime, throw something else at me that you may have got on over the phone, just because whatever you're getting over the phone, everyone else on this call is most likely getting. So it's going to be helpful for each and every one of us.
I have enough insurance already. I don't need no more.
Well, Eric, that's exactly why I'm calling. I represent the top 25 insurance carriers. If I was able to get you that same amount of coverage at a cheaper cost, would it make sense for you to save money for yourself and put your family in a better position if you passed away tomorrow?
Of course.
Well, that's exactly why I'm calling. How about I get there between 12 and 1 tomorrow? Just do me a favor, grab a pen and paper and write down my information, and then I'll have you off the phone, all right?
Okay, can you verify, you said 25 different companies, but can you verify what your company actually do to really gonna be able to help me?
Yeah, absolutely. So I work with insurance carriers such as like Aetna, Mutual of Omaha, Transamerica, AIG. We'd be on the phone all day, Eric, if I named all 25 of them, but I'm sure you've probably seen some commercials about them. Pretty much all I'll do is take about 10 to 15 minutes to do some shopping around for you about what you qualify for. Most times for seniors like yourself, you said what's your age again, Eric? You said you're about 45?
Yes, about 45, yes.
Okay. So for most individuals at your age, Eric, I'm always able to find them more coverage at a lower cost. That's what I specialize in, and that's why I represent multiple carriers. Do me a favor really quick, grab that pen and paper. so I can give you my information, and then I'll be there tomorrow between 12 and 1, right?
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, perfect. So only thing Eric is doing is he's not really giving me objections, right? And in some cases, we may identify them as objections. They're objecting, and we're trying to find the right answer. But no matter what, I'm literally just giving back the same rebuttal each and every time. I'm never changing anything about what I'm saying. I'm just listening. I'm just actively listening to what Eric is saying. And I'm just making a rebuttal make sense to his concern. They're not really objections. They're really questions. And that's all that we all get on the phone. The only objection we really deal with on the phone is I'm not interested. That's an actual objection. Someone that tells you they have life insurance already, that's not really an objection. That's just somebody who, just like each and every one of us, I think all of us can agree that, you know, Grant, I see you on the screen right now. You got a nice Puma jacket on, brother. That's a nice jacket. If you can unmute for me, do me a favor and unmute for me, Grant, because I want to ask you a question about it.
Sure. Good morning. Thank you, by the way.
No problem. When you went ahead to look for a jacket such as that Puma jacket, did you see it and it was love at first sight? You just purchased it? Or did you maybe shop around a little bit to see what's the best deal you can get for it?
Well, pretty much I wanted a Puma jacket. I wanted a sweatsuit. It was actually either this one or an Adidas. So this one fit the bill. It was my size. I could afford it. And they didn't have Adidas, so I got this one. That's how it went down for me.
That's exactly how our clients think. And we all think the same way of our clients. We're all shoppers. Grant initially went looking for Adidas jacket. By the way, man, I wish you found the Adidas. That's my brand right there. But
I got one, by the way, but I got one more than one.
So myself, Grant, Eric, you know, Michael, I see all of us on the screen and everyone else on this call. We're all the same. We're shoppers. We're all looking for something quality that fits our budget. So I find the best response is always, I represent about 25 carriers, right? That gives me the leverage, one, and it brings the value to the client to let them know you can have confidence in me to shop around to find you the best benefits, the highest amount of coverage at the lowest cost. Because that's all you're doing anyway, right? You're shopping. Well, just let me do that for you. That's my job. I'm the licensed individual here. I can save you a lot of time and money. That's all the client wants to know. They want to know, because let's be honest here, you know, in some cases you'll meet clients that are very down to earth and have a lot of life insurance and they're not afraid to purchase anymore. But the majority of our clients, middle-class clients, life insurance is not their favorite subject. No one wants to talk about life and death every day, but they understand it is a necessity. And when we wrap our mind around what they're looking for, the only thing you have to now do is just tell them what they need to hear to get in front of them. You're selling contact. You're not selling the insurance. You're just selling contact. So if a person say, hey, is this you know, I served in the military. Is this any military benefits? Hey, listen, Eric, I represent about 25 insurance carriers. Once I see if you qualify, if anything pops up saying you get a military discount, I'll make sure I let you know. But it's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes to determine that. What's the best time, morning, afternoon, or evening? Afternoon. I have the same rebuttal every time. I just actively listen to what the client is saying, and I make sure I tie the rebuttal to their concern, and always close them out after that. Always close them out. Do not leave it open-ended, because if you just tell them, hey, I represent 15 to 25 insurance carriers, if it says that you actually qualify for military discounts, I'll be sure to let you know, and you just stop talking. They're going to be like, okay, well, when you find out, give me a call. And then they're going to end up off the phone. Redirect them into the goal to schedule that appointment. Always take them in a direction that you are looking for it to go. Control the conversation. Once they ask you a question, you answer their question, and then you throw a question back at them to retake control, which is usually, is that going to be best tomorrow morning, afternoon, or evening, for about 15 minutes? Because they want it. They want it. They wouldn't have went online and filled out a lead if they didn't want it. So don't let the client confuse you. When they start throwing certain things at you, like, oh, I'm not interested, I promise you the leads didn't fill itself out. I promise you, Sean Mike do not spend his morning filling out hundreds of thousands of leads with fake names and numbers on them. They did not fill themselves out. I guarantee it. But keep in mind, let's take it back to the psychology of, the 5 steps to this conversation or 5 steps to the sell. Your intro and your short story is where you're focused about 80% of your time on. So when you talk to somebody, and I'll redo it. So I'm gonna call Eric again, but based on how Eric picks up the phone with his hello, he's going to get a little bit more from me. So ring.
Hello.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, so notice I said, hey, Eric, and just naturally he's, hey, how you doing? As if he know me. I didn't even tell him who I am yet. Notice when you talk to someone like you know them, they're going to respond like they know you. And then that makes it a much easier conversation because like, oh, yeah, they feel a little bit more comfortable talking to you. I know we talked about just about one to 2 steps of the 5 steps to a conversation. We won't really talk about 3, 4, and 5, but I'll tell you what they are because that's only the 20% of what we do. That's the easiest part about what we do. Once you get in front of a client, it's golden. They're writing a policy with you. The only reason they don't write a policy with you is if you didn't want to write a policy for them. But your 3rd step to that conversation is your presentation, just about making it make sense, finding what works best for them. Your 4th step to it is the close, finding their budget. And your 5th step is pretty much like your rehash, just going over what happened today, making sure they're on the same page, making sure they don't have buyer's remorse by the time you leave. But today is Thursday. The time is now about 8:22. Right now, everybody on this call is about focused on step 1 and step 2, which is the 80% of this business. If you can understand the psychology and get good at the first 2 steps, which is just introducing yourself, telling them who you are, what you're doing, and why you're calling, booking that appointment, this business will be a breeze for you. You get good at the 80%. The rest of it is a cakewalk. It's a walk in the park, guaranteed. So when you're calling today, keep in mind, they do feel your energy over the phone. And based off how you're responding to them is how they will respond to you. So if Eric told me that I don't know what you're talking about, and I go, well, Eric, you don't remember doing this? Eric's going to say, no, he don't remember doing this, but I'm going to remind Eric that he did it. I'm going to make Eric believe that he did it. So when Eric say, oh, I already have life insurance policies, I'm going to tell Eric, and that's exactly why I'm calling. I know you have life insurance already, but you went online and looked at additional coverage. Was this for a family member? Was this for your mortgage, or was this to leave money behind?
For a family member.
So I'm not going to let him confuse me and make me think that lead filled itself out, because I know Eric did it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be there. So I want to take this time. It's almost about 8:30, but I want to take this time to see if there's any questions in the chat right now. To see if there's any questions at all. If you have any questions, please unmute. If not, what I want to do is wrap this call up so all of us can, prepare ourselves for the weekend, have a huge weekend, and take advantage of this precious time, because right now is the time that everyone's answering their phone because everyone's home preparing to go to work.
So real quick, before you go, Corey, the training today was fire. I see it as it's recorded. So how can the people that want to watch it again get it?
I think Genesis usually posted on the Humble Beginnings YouTube channel.
Okay.
So just do yourself a favor, guys. Really tune into what's happening in the group chat. I know it's a lot of traffic happening in the group chat, and sometimes your phone going off and you look at it and it's like, oh, pay attention to those things coming in, because she's probably going to drop it in the group chat. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you always get the updates. So when there's a new video,
FFL Humble Beginnings.
Yep, FFL
right.
Humble Beginnings YouTube channel. Just subscribe to that channel so you always get the notifications when trainings are posted.
Thank you.
So, appreciate that question, Grant. I'm sure everyone was thinking that. Appreciate you, bro.
Yep, no problem, brother.
Yeah, I'll be posting the live dial link on the group me real quick too. So when this call is over, jump over to the group me, jump on the live dial, and there are top producers on there for about to 11 o'clock today. So you wanna jump on that.
Appreciate you, Genesis. Thanks for letting us know. All right, guys.
Y'all have a wonderful day, everyone.
What's that?
I'll say have a wonderful day, everyone.
Okay.
Likewise. Let's all jump on live dial, guys. Let's kill it.
Thanks again. Thanks again,
Right.
everyone. Have a good
All
day.
righty.
All right
Bye-bye.
now.